This is Morten from INKISH TV. We are here at the second day at Label Expo in Chicago. Yesterday was great. A lot of people, particularly on the booth we are at today. We are at the Mark Andy booth and we got an early session, so it's not crowded yet. And I'm here with Stu. Stu,
Hello,
welcome to INKISH, and what a wonderful booth you have here.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic.
And what a screen, right?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
The large screen, the presence, the crowds yesterday were absolutely fantastic. We couldn't ask for more.
Tell us a little bit who you are and what you do.
I'm Stu Gallup, Vice President of our digital sales development. So I'm responsible for the sales on all of our digital products. And that's really what we're showing here today is our digital transformation and how we're involved in that.
It's fantastic because when we spoke before the camera was turned on, we talked about that at the last Label Expo. All the booths, not just Mark Andy, but all the booths were entirely different. But I mean, the game changer is, of course, that digital is the key word, right?
Correct. Everything that can go digital will go digital, and that's exactly what we're seeing in the Flexo market, as is anywhere else. And that doesn't mean that Flexo, as a traditional sense, is gone by any means. We are still a major Flexo manufacturer. We continue to be, and that's the large part of what we do. But we're also showing customers at a trade show what the transformation is and what the options are, all the way from entry level to the highest production machines in digital.
It's funny you mentioned this because I couldn't help thinking about whether Flexo is dying or not dying. But what I'm actually very curious, and that must be something that you experience in your work all the time, is that I think in particular in the label and the mid-webs segment, the digitalization in the label and flexible packaging industry is so fast, right?
It absolutely is. But on the other side, we're seeing some of our best years this year that's going to be in our traditional Flexo. So we have customers adding capacity in the traditional sense what they need, and then we're really seeing some of our largest years as people are adopting and moving their digital. What we're also starting to see more this year is people progressing. So since digital, and we've been involved in digital for such a long time, we have people who are now moving up, and that was the whole goal, right? We get them into their digital transformation, and that's everything that we're talking about. How do you move through your digital transformation? And they're now onto their second machine. They're onto their upgrade, and that's what they're doing.
How long time have you been with Mark Andy?
I've been with Mark Andy 10 years.
10 years. Because I was just thinking that when you have been involved in a company where you see that transformation, I could imagine that when you have a business that is so relying on analog world, that the first day you made the decision of going digital, it must have, a little bit tickling in the stomach. Is this the right move, right? But today you just see that it is the right move, right?
You're always wondering, and you have to take that move and that leap, and then you wonder if it's going to be successful. Clearly it was beyond the right move. We've seen how successful it is just by what we see at the show today. And there's no going back from that.
Before we go to see some of the equipment, I have one more question I'm a little bit curious about this, and I'm very curious about your answer, to be honest. What is the better advantage? Is it one, coming from a Flexo world and moving into digital, or is it better to start digital? I mean, if you look at the competitors in the market, right, you have both types.
Absolutely, and I think the majority of what happens for a label converter, they're called a converter for a reason, because they are converting a roll of material into a finished label, and the majority of that is not the printing. And that's really, what we look at, and you see as we walk through our presses, all of our digital presses are a digital component inserted into our traditional Flexo line, and that gives them the abilities to understand Flexo and how to just impart digital into what they're now doing.
And in the label segment particularly, I mean, this is what we refer to as hybrid solutions, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So when you have companies that deliver like digital only solutions, the majority of the converters probably prefer to have the combination with the hybrid solutions.
Correct.
Right?
And what we offer is the best of both worlds.
Okay.
Our whole key is digital flexibility. So you can start roll to roll, and then you can add everything as you need. And that's really what we...
Should we go and check something?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's
go
take a look.
What is, we're starting with your Max.
Yes, this is the Digital Pro Max. This is what we're showing for the first time at the show. And this is the third generation in our Digital Pro family. And this is our toner-based product. We started with our Digital 1, and then moved up to our wildly successful, most successful digital product is our Digital Pro 3. And that was a purpose-built machine that allowed customers to get into digital in a hybrid sense. And now we're taking it to the max and moving it to the next level. And this now takes us up to 130 feet a minute in CMYK. It takes us up to 65 feet a minute with a digital white. So now,
and with a good opaqueness to the white.
an extreme opaqueness to it.
Because
So
that is something people ask when you go digital, right?
we are only going through the machine once. There's no multiple impressions of white that's needed on here. And the beauty is what we're seeing is this is
the entire footprint, right?
Well, this is the roll-to-roll model. Yeah. Anytime you want, we have our Flexos print stations, we have turn bars, we have semi-rotary die stations, we have
so you can basically
sheeting.
configure it as you want.
Absolutely, whenever you want in the field. Yeah. So start this way, you have some offline finishing, you get a customer that needs certain semi-rotary die cut, add that in. You get a customer that needs sheeting, add that in. It's all able to be put in right in line in the field at any moment, and that's the beauty of
one of the things I can't help think about when I talk to people that work with the machines in the label industry is always how many feeds per minute they are actually run, right? Speed is of course important because that is like how fast can you deliver, and that is like, you know, money in the bank basically.
That's, you only make money when you sell that label.
Yeah.
So
what about, I mean, because if you do, one of the advantages when you have like analog is basically you can mix any color, right? You
Absolutely.
can have your gamuts can be different. So this is a digital thing. How do you manage the color management, and how good is it?
Absolutely, it's you know, color management has come a long way, and that's one of the biggest keys when you're dealing with digital. And so this machine specifically even has built-in spectrophotometers, and so it's managing your color right on the fly. And that's where we're getting to, is more and more color automation, not just automation in the manufacturing.
And you know, I'm a little bit curious. I need to see the SAM coming out.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead. This is running right now at 130 feet a minute. Again, it's 13 inches wide, so we're showing a sample of 3 T labels that would be used.
It looks stunning, right?
It does.
And I also like that when you have it doesn't have the digital touch. You know, in the older versions, you had like it felt like digital.
Correct. And then in most cases, you would go on to either a varnishing station or a lamination station or something after that, into that aspect. Yeah. Quality today, while we have wonderful quality and everyone loves to talk about it, quality is really at a level in the whole industry that it's an assumed thing. You have quality. Now it's how are you more efficient in getting labels off the press? How are you more efficient in acquiring the product? How are you more efficient in your total cost to print? And that's really the key, not the quality anymore. Nobody starts to talk about resolutions and things like that any longer.
Sometimes people do talk about color depths. So that is not an issue. I can see that it has really good solid colors as well.
Extreme, wonderful color gamut and color capability, and customers are loving it.
That was the Max. Then we have the IQ.
So this is our Digital Series IQ. So again, what Mark Andy offers to everyone is we want to sit down with you and understand what's your need and what fits you the best. And that's why we have everything from our Digital Pro 3 entry-level toner onto our, if inkjet suits your needs
so you
more.
move from a toner-based to an inkjet. I
I
forgot to ask you about that, sorry.
This was toner-based on the D Pro family. The Digital Series becomes our inkjet-based. And so there are customers that need a certain requirement from inkjets, and that's what we allow them to have it with that same flexibility, and that's really the key that we.
Is it a faster machine compared to the toner, or is it similar? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is faster. Yeah. So we're at 130 feet a minute on the toner. We're at 160 feet a minute on the IQ, and we're at 240 feet a minute on
so it's a bit faster, but not really much faster.
Not drastically faster, right? Both of these products are aimed at that middle market customer.
If you look at a machine like this and compare it to the Max, before we spoke about colors, how do you see it compared to, if let's say that you have a customer that acquired both?
Correct.
Do you have color consistency across devices, or is it
absolutely? Okay. And what we have is a whole area in our booth that is highlighting our pre-press section. Okay. And so we have a full pre-press team with pre-press tools, front-end tools, digital front ends, all color management. That again, when you purchase from Mark Andy, if you purchase multiple presses, what we work with you on is how to get them all to be looking the same, even if you have a traditional press from us as well.
Is this also a new machine or a new update or?
No, this has been about a year and a half
Okay,
that we've
okay.
had that out.
So that was just during the Corona. You had to do something, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. We were bored, so that
you
was,
were bored. I don't think you're ever bored,
no,
right?
No. But this really is now. This is sitting on our Evolution chassis.
Yeah.
So again, each of our products comes from the basis of our traditional Flexo line. So this is an Evolution press, an Evolution series press with a digital module. So we don't even tend to refer to it as we have a digital press. We have an Evolution with a digital module.
Yeah, so that's like when you have like cars often built on the same frames, different models, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So
and we have a performance series press.
that looks really cool
with our digital, right? So this is our flagship product. This is our highest end, fully developed in-house with our engineering and our technology. And this is based off of our performance series press line.
Yeah.
And again, we have our digital engine that's sitting in the front of it. The great part about this and where it gives the flexibility is you can see we've designed it so we have a traditional rail system over the top of our digital engine.
So you can basically have your laminations, your foiling
Exactly.
placed everywhere
What
you
customers
want.
ask for is how can I use all of my traditional, again, converting. This is really just a piece in the middle of, you know, an ends to a means to an end. And now I can move anything across the board.
What I like when I see a machine like this, I don't know if you heard it before, but just a few weeks ago we were filming one of your customers in Grand Rapids in Michigan. And when I see a machine like this, I totally get what you said, that you have like some kind of a frame. So if you're an existing Mark Andy customer, it must be really easy to change into working and operating these machines.
A natural progression is someone who already owns a P-Series press, knows everything about this machine to begin with.
Yeah.
And now they're just, you know, understanding the digital portion of it. Yeah. So it works really well, and this has been a wildly successful product for us.
Stu, I was a little bit curious because you probably don't talk like an entry model, but it is like it's a model that serves a specific market. Then you have something who needs like an inkjet. Here we have the full hybrid. Who is
production,
and
really
production,
high production. Yeah.
Who? When you're responsible for sales of the digital thing, so who are you talking to when you talk about these three machines?
And we are talking to everyone, and that's the beauty of what we offer. Any customer at their level can come in. A lot of customers I was talking to today are saying that I had a few that I'm getting into the label business.
So they start.
I am starting. I'm branching out from something I'm doing already, and I'm branching out. So you have that level. Where a customer like that would be the D Pro 3. The product we're not even showing here, but is our most successful product, is that entry-level D Pro 3.
So that basically means that you have like
and that's the only product they have.
Yeah, but I mean that basically means that you have solutions for all sizes and types of company. Yeah.
And then we have people who already own 6 P-Series presses and are now putting in HD. We have people who already own an HD and are putting in a second HD. And that's the real key. We have people upgrading and moving through the line.
Let's talk last little section about this interview. I was just wondering, the market. I mean, everybody has been talking about that the commercial print is decreasing and label packaging is probably, maybe not, it is probably growing, but it's also becoming a lot of white labels, becoming a lot of private labels, becoming a lot of personalization and all that. Is that the market you address?
Absolutely, and at Mark Andy, I come from a commercial background many years ago with Press Tech, and what we've seen is exactly that, is people have changed what they like, the way they like to consume content. That's really impacted the commercial market space. You used to go and buy a car, you get a wonderful brochure, glossy, wonderful.
Now you get a wonderful sticker with a QR code.
Go online and see our interactive, everything about the press, about the car. Yeah. The beauty of labels is you can't email shampoo, so you have to put it in a package. You have to, and now you just don't have one shampoo. You have dandruff. You have scent-free. You have all these others that people are doing. So we're seeing a boom in the number of labels that are coming off, but we're seeing them in smaller runs, and that's what allows it.
That's the digital transformation. Yeah.
Right. We're seeing new markets open up.
Mark Andy is a well-established supplier in the market for years. I was wondering, when you talk about the digital transformation, it's obvious when we see the products. Is it also something that applies to how the company is changing?
Absolutely. So the company, if you take it back, 15 years, we were a press manufacturing company, and that's where all the revenues came from. And now as you move, you understand that you have to be the supplier of choice for everything to the customer. And that's what we are. We have a full consumables division.
I was just about to ask, because you said before we started the interview, you said that basically, I wouldn't say move up, moving down, moving somewhere. I would just say that basically become like a one-stop shop for your
Correct.
customers, so it makes it easier for them. And if there's anything to complain about, one phone number to call.
That's exactly it. When we've integrated Mark Andy Print Products, which is our total consumable and distribution worldwide for all consumables, offset consumables, commercial consumables, Flexo consumables, as well as all of our digital consumables. So you can order your traditional Flexo plates from us, and then you can add your digital ink onto that same order. You can order it online 24/7, and we have distribution throughout the world. So we're handling and getting product to all of our customers, regardless of where they are.
Seems like a good place to be, right?
It is.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much.